I flew across the country to a private Lowe's influencer event in Las Vegas. And while I was there, I saw products, tools, and even seasonal launches that Lowe's plans to roll out in 2026. But the biggest thing I saw was not a display, a demo, or even a new product. It was one question. At dinner that night, Lowe's leadership asked me what they need to do to attract more contractors, more tradespeople, and more DIYers. And that question changed the way I look at Lowe's, because this is not only about a few good DEWALT deals. I think Lowe's is trying to build something much bigger. But before we get started, I want to give a special thanks to Lowe's Home Improvement for sponsoring this video. And if you'd like to shop for any of the tools we talk about, you can check them out by using the YouTube shopping button or the link in the description that will take you to my Lowe's Storefront collection for this video. If you're new here, I'm Vince. Grew up in construction in Philadelphia, and today I run a commercial construction company. My crews work in malls, big box stores, schools, and restaurants. So I live in the real world of deadlines, budgets, and the constant scramble to get the right tool or material on time. So when Lowe's leadership asked me that question, I answered fast. I told them the biggest issue is simple. When time matters, nobody wants to wonder whether the store actually has the tool they need. Contractors hate that. DIYers hate that. Homeowners hate that. If I drive to a store or even shop online, I want confidence. I want to know that the platform I buy into will actually support the work that I do. And then I push the point even further. Lowe's does not only need a few core tools, they need a lineup that goes wide and deep. If they want contractors and serious DIYers to keep coming back, they have to cover the base tools and the specialty tools. For carpenters, that means more than a drill and an impact driver combo. You need a miter saw, table saw, nailers, routers, biscuit joiners, drywall screwdrivers, and compact sanders. You need the tools that finish the job, not only the tools that start it. Likewise, if they want to support electrical, plumbing, masonry, and low voltage work, they need the tools that actually match those trades. That's the point. Once someone commits to a battery platform, you want Lowe's to become the obvious next stop every single time that person needs another tool. And to Lowe's credit, they told me they want to go wide and deep. Now, here's why I took that seriously. While I was there, I saw proof that Lowe's already understands the first half of that strategy. They're leaning hard into DEWALT right now. And these promotions tell me that they want to give contractors and DIYers real reasons to shop Lowe's in-store and online. So let's run through the deals, but let's do it in an order that matters. First, if you need a real starting point, Lowe's has the DEWALT 20 volt max 7-tool combo kit for $649. That kit includes 2 5-amp hour batteries, a charger, a drill driver, an impact driver, a random orbital sander, a 6.5-inch circular saw, a reciprocating saw, and an oscillating multi-tool, and a 3-inch cutoff tool. That is a serious base kit. If you're building out your setup, replacing older gear, or stepping into the DEWALT platform for the first time, that deal gives you a real foundation instead of one flashy tool and a bunch of follow-up purchases. Next, Lowe's isn't only pushing starter kits. They have specialty tools. A perfect example is the DEWALT Grabo. This tool gives you a 265-pound load capacity, and it helps you lift plastic panels, pavers, flooring, cabinetry, appliances, and other smooth materials that never seem to have a good handhold when you need one. In my commercial work, we used manual suction cup style lifters for large smooth-sided fixtures. So when I saw the DEWALT's take on it, it clicked for me immediately. Even better, Lowe's is running a buy one, get one style promotion on it right now. Buy the Grabo, and you get a free 5-amp hour battery. This is the kind of deal that makes a specialty tool easier to justify, because you're not only buying the tool, you're also feeding the platform. Now, let's talk saws, because this is where Lowe's really starts to speak to carpenters and remodelers. Lowe's has the DEWALT 12-inch 20 volt max dual bevel sliding compound cordless motor saw for $699. And they're throwing in a free Power Pack 8 amp hour starter kit that includes a fast charger. That matters because cordless motor saws save time on setup, especially when you're bouncing between punch lists, trim work, and quick installs. On the other hand, if you want corded, Lowe's has the DEWALT 12-inch 15 amp dual bevel sliding compound motor saw on sale for $449, which saves you $180 right now. So whether you want mobility or you want maximum corded value, Lowe's is covering both angles. Then there's the DEWALT 10-inch 15 amp portable job site table saw with folding rolling stand. If you work alone, that rolling stand is not a small detail. It saves your back, speeds setup time, and makes the saw much easier to move in and out of the truck or around the job site. Right now, Lowe's has it for $599, so you're saving $100. After that, let's hit batteries because battery deals decide a lot of purchases. Lowe's has a 2-pack of DEWALT 4 amp hour batteries with a $90 savings. They also have a 2-pack of 6 amp hour batteries with a $120 savings. And if you want DEWALT's most compact battery with serious watts out for larger tools, Lowe's has a 2-pack of Power Stack batteries for $159. That lineup matters because platform confidence doesn't only come from the tools, it also comes from knowing you can expand your battery inventory without getting crushed on price. Then Lowe's even has a strong accessory deal. Take the DEWALT 21-piece jobber length twist drill bit set. That set includes a 1/2-inch drill bit plus 20 other drill bits, and that 1/2-inch drill bit alone could run around $20 by itself. When you look at that kit as a whole, that's the kind of add-on deal that feels small at first, but it actually saves you money on the stuff you buy over and over again. And here's another piece that stood out to me. Lowe's also told me that they're testing an online same-day delivery program. So you place the order online, and then you get what you need faster. That directly attacks the pain point I brought up at dinner, because if Lowe's improves availability, expands the lineup, and gets products to you faster, then this stops being only a pricing story. It becomes a convenience story. It becomes a workflow story. And it becomes a loyalty story. So yes, the DEWALT deals matter. They matter for your wallet, but more importantly, they show where Lowe's wants to compete. And if you want to shop any of those deals, use the YouTube shopping button or the link in the description, and it will take you to my Lowe's storefront. Stick with me, because I think the bigger story starts right here. In fact, the biggest takeaway I had from the event didn't fully hit me until I got home and started replaying everything in my mind. And that brings me to Kobalt. But before we get into that big news, if you appreciate hearing about tool industry trends from our perspective, smash the like button. And also leave us a comment on what you think about the recent direction of Lowe's home improvement. Now, let's get back to it. While I was at the event, Lowe's unveiled new 48-volt Kobalt tools, including a chainsaw, a string trimmer, and a leaf blower. They also showed us an 80-volt Kobalt-powered bicycle. I think it's gonna be like one of those halo items. People are just gonna wanna have it because it's so cool. This got my brain moving immediately, because if Lowe's and Kobalt are willing to think beyond the usual lane and even put 2 batteries on tools, then the ceiling gets a lot higher than most people realize. On top of that, the Kobalt representative told us new tools are already in the pipeline. He didn't spell everything out, but he said enough to make me pay attention. And once I looked at what Kobalt already offers, the whole thing started to connect, at least up in my mind. Kobalt already has a strong 24-volt lineup. In fact, my favorite 7¼ inch sliding compound motor saw is the 24-volt Kobalt. This saw gives you great features, a strong price, and real value for both contractors and serious DIYers. That's not hype, that's earned praise. Then look at the XTR line. Kobalt's hammer drill, impact driver, and reciprocating saw all perform at a level that puts them in conversation with contractor grade tools. That matters because performance creates credibility, and credibility gives Lowe's room to expand the platform into more specialized categories. Kobalt is already further along than a lot of people think. They have an entire lineup of nailers. They have a 21-degree framing nailer, and right now that tool is $30 off. They also have a stapler, a brad nailer, a finish nailer, and a 23-gauge pin nailer. That's not only wide, that starts to look deep. Then things get even more interesting. Kobalt has a 12-inch coreless concrete saw on the 80-volt platform. It's not an ordinary homeowner tool. That's the kind of product that tells me Lowe's sees room for Kobalt to move into heavier and more specialized work. Then you move over to shop tools and the picture gets even bigger. Kobalt has a 9-inch stationary bandsaw, a 6.5 amp 5-speed bench drill press, and a 13-inch 15 amp bench top planer. And on the Lowe's website, they're already bundling solutions around actual trade work. A great example is the Kobalt 24-volt plumbing collection. That collection includes a hammer drill, a wet dry vac, and a right angle drill, a powered caulk gun, a recip saw, and a cordless trouble light. That matters because it shows a shift in thinking. Instead of only selling isolated tools, Lowe's can package around the way people actually work. Now, here is my bigger point. I don't have an official statement from Lowe's that says Kobalt is about to become one of the biggest power tool platforms in the country. However, when I look at the event, the current Kobalt lineup, the specialized products, the trade-focused collections, and the flexibility Lowe's has with a house brand, I see a real opportunity. Lowe's controls Kobalt. That means Lowe's can push features, categories, bundles, and pricing in a way that outside brands simply cannot match as easily. That matters a lot because if Lowe's wants to win more contractors and more DIYers, Kobalt gives them a path to offer more features for the money, more specialized tools, and more aggressive expansion into trade-specific categories. In other words, DEWALT helps Lowe's win today. Kobalt might help Lowe's build tomorrow. And that's why I walked away from the event looking at Lowe's completely different. At first, I thought I was flying to Vegas to see some product demos and maybe catch a few good tool deals. Instead, I came home thinking Lowe's may be building a much bigger strategy. Use DEWALT and big promotions to pull serious buyers in right now, improve availability and delivery so people trust the shopping experience, then keep expanding Kobalt until it becomes a platform that people choose not only for price, but also for depth, performance, trade-specific solutions. If Lowe's follows through on that, then I really do think Kobalt can become one of the largest power tool platforms in the space. So, I want your take. Do you think Lowe's should keep pushing hard on DEWALT and build out the heavy-duty center around that brand? Or do you think Lowe's should go all in on Kobalt and turn it into a deeper, more serious platform for contractors, tradespeople, homeowners, and DIYers? Drop your thoughts down in the comments because I really want to hear where you stand on this. And if you want to check out any of the DEWALT or Kobalt deals I mentioned, use the YouTube shopping button or the link in the description to visit my Lowe's storefront. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you all on the next one.